the European dominance in female table tennis. In 1959, China won the World Championship for the first time and started to dominate the table tennis world. Over the years, China won several world championships and became the king of table tennis. 1970 to 2000. Rise of Sweden and use of speed glue. However, China's dominance was interrupted in 1970 with the rise of Sweden for the three decades from 1971. Sweden overrode China with top players like Eric Lind, ja- Jan O. Waldiner, and Peter Carlsson. Sweden won 1989 to 1991 and 1993 team event and World Championship titles in 1989 and 1991 in men's category. Further, increase of spin and speed came up in the year 1980 with speed glue for pasting the rubber on the surface of the table tennis blade. 1988, table tennis became an Olympic sport. 1988 is the most remarkable year in the history of table tennis when the game was first introduced in the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul with men's singles, men's doubles, women's introduced in singles and women's doubles. China and South Korea won two titles of each. 2000 to 2014 Development of table tennis. In the year 2000, ITTF took a major step in view of the popularity of table tennis. They increased the ball diameter from 38 mm to 44 mm. The larger ball tends to be slower and spins less, which brings more excitement to the game. Next year, the development came up with a total change of scoring in table tennis from 21 points to 11 points. ITTF changed the scoring pattern with a game of 11 points from 21 points. Also, the consecutive serve for each player was brought down to 2 serves from 5 serves in a row. In 2014, we witnessed the last modification when ITTF introduced plastic as a material for able tennis balls. For this picture, different types of table tennis grips. Table tennis is a racket sport, which means that player's main weapon at hand is his paddle. Putting aside skills, techniques, and footwork the moment, one of the most initial and basic things a player has to learn is how to actually wield. To learn how to wield his weapon. The ping pong paddle or table tennis racket, but before one learns about angles and swinging, one of the most foundational choices a player has to make, or one that is made for him by his coach or trainer, is how to hold the racket. The shake hand grip. This is the shake hand grip. Shake hand grip in popular Western media such as television series or movies. People who play ping pong are almost always shown to be holding it with their index fingers on the side of the paddle directly facing the body and the thumb resting on top of the other fingers, which are encircled around the blade handle. This is known as the shake hand grip. It is called a shake hand grip because the blade rests on the V shape created by one thumb and index finger, and save for the other three fingers. This grip will make it look like one is about to shake hands with someone. The index finger should lie roughly parallel with the edge of the rubber at the base of the flat paddle, area where one hits the ball. These types of grip is more popular with Western players. Virtually every European player and a majority of Asian players use this grip. There are two variations of the shake hand grip, shallow and deep. Two, in actuality, if one doesn't look closely, the two look to be about the same. However, the shallow shake hand grip differs from the deep shake hand grip in where the thumbs rest. Thought, thought is may seem to be a small matter. Grip is quite important and something as seemingly inconsequential as where the thumb rests actually matters. For the shallow shake hand grip, the thumb rests or relaxes on the blade. For the deep shake hand grip, the thumb rests or relaxes on the rubber. Two kinds of shake hand grip. This is the example of shake hand grip. The advantage of the shallow shake hand grip over deep grip is that allows for a quicker readjustment of the paddle's angle since the grip is loose. This grip will also give one the freedom to move his wrist, and this in turn grants the player stronger power and spin when attacking or brushing the ball. This would be effective against short balls that once opponent lobbies over. The advantage of deep shakehand grip would be that it prevents too much moving of the paddle in the player's hand, which ensures a firm grasp. grasp. This grip does not allow for wrist flexibility, which is good for precisely controlled strokes that require less power, but shakehand grips allow for easier movement on either forehand or backhand strokes, since it is easy to switch sides with this kind of grip. The disadvantage of either shallow or deep shakehand grips is that there will always be a point of indecision. The opponents can choose to attack. The point of indecision is also called the crossover point or the playing elbow, since one holds the paddle in this grip as an extension of the in this grip as an extension of the arm. The paddle is positioned in front of the player's chest, either to the left or to the right, depending on the player's dominant hand, and the elbow is jut about leaving a space between underarm and torso. This position ensures that there is a point of indecision directly in front of the player, since a ball that comes the player since since the player since a ball that comes up to the player will force him to decide whether he should sidestep, to use his forehand or backhand stroke to counter ball, since neither forehand backhand stroke can be performed optimally if the player does not move from his position. Shallow shakehand grips are usually held by players who favor top spins, loops, or loop drives, which is when a player lobs the ball over the table by brushing the side or the top of the ball to make the top of the ball go in the same direction as the ball is moving, while the bottom of the ball moves in the opposite direction of the motion of the ball. This type of grip is also favored by players who like smashing, driving, or hitting the ball, which is a stroke that requires medium to fast speed and little to not to no top spin. Deep shakehand grips tend to be used by players favor backspin. As from attack, the defensive stroke of the players require precise paddle control that only the deep shakehand grip can provide since it doesn't require wrist power or wrist flexibility. The defensiveness this this grip also lessens the chances of the player having to attack balls from over the table, which is why wrist flexibility is not an issue for this grip. Mao Long, who is as of November 2015 the one excuse number one international table tennis men's player from China, uses a shakehand grip. Fan Zhendong II in this rank, and also from China, uses a similar grip. Lu Shiwen, Zhu Yuling, and Ding Ning, the rank first, second, and third, respectively, of international table tennis. Women's players from China all use shake-hand grips, as well Zhang Ji, currently the fifth best international men's player, reigning Olympic singles player from China, and fourth male player in the entire history of table tennis to achieve a career Grand Slam in only 445 days after consecutively winning both the WTTC and the World Cup in 2011 and then the London Olympics in 2012 also favors this type of grip. People sometimes assume that this is the only way to hold a paddle, but actually there are many more types of grip available for any aspiring beginner to choose from. What what are the purpose of color red and black in the paddle of table tennis? In general, black dye pigment will make black rubber is a little bit softer than red rubber. Black rubber is tackier than the red one. The tackiness of black rubber lasts longer, while the red rubber has this characteristic. The red rubber is harder. Red rubber top sheet is expanded easier if you have the same rubber. Same thickness, you always feel that the red one is a little bit thicker. Red rubber is faster and less tacky. Red rubber in general has less spin. The red pigment makes the top sheet harder, bouncier, hence less dwell time.